The Death Squad debate has been circulating for years, ever since Space Jam came out in 1996. If the aliens came down from space and we had to send our 5 best players of all time to defend humankind, who would you send out on the floor and why? Well, I've listened to countless lineups over the years and no one has picked my lineup once. Let me explain why my Death Squad is the best lineup yet and why you just might be surprised which GOATs I leave off my list. Let's go. So many people make the mistake of picking the absolute 5 best players they can think of from different eras and teams. And I don't blame them in theory, but basketball doesn't quite work this way. Chemistry, cohesiveness, and style of play is one of the hardest things to achieve between superstars. There's only one ball to go around, and many players need the ball in their hand to gain rhythm and momentum so they can impact the game to their fullest potential. This is why we see so many overpowered teams actually fail their first few years as a team. Understanding how to be effective off the ball is one of the biggest weaknesses of a superstar. You really need to know your team's habits and tendencies to really expand the vision of the game to fully unlock everyone's potential. This is why compatibility is the key to this answer. So here's my lineup. The number 5 spot. I'm reverse engineering this team from the center's position. The center will be the core of the team and our last line of defense. We need a player who's equally effective on offense and defense. You can pick Wilt or Kareem here, but this is the aliens. I need the biggest, strongest, fastest, meanest, most dominant player of all time, and that's none other than Shaquille O'Neal, and it's an easy choice. Shaq is light on his feet and he's going to be surrounded by superstars anyway. I just need him to lock down the paint and Shaq makes all the other choices fall in line. The number 4 spot, the power forward. Now the power forward is the most challenging pick of the entire death lineup in my opinion. You can go in so many different angles here and I've heard them all, but this is where I veer off from everyone else in the debate. You typically hear of Tim Duncan or Dirk, maybe Giannis or Anthony Davis, or maybe even a Karl Malone. But remember, I don't need the absolute best player for the position. I need the most compatible player for the position. And that's exactly where I place my enforcer role. I need a tenacious enforcer that's willing to back up Shaq on defense while also bringing speed and versatility on offense. And that's exactly what I do here. The enforcer is traditionally known as somebody who's willing to do anything on offense and defense to help impact the game when things get tough. Almost every dynasty has had some sort of enforcer role to help them get them over the top. These type of players are essential when times get tough and buckets don't come easy. And if we're facing the aliens, I want someone crazy enough to trash talk the Martians straight to their face. And that's why my pick is the greatest enforcer of all time, Kevin Garnett. KG is the Swiss Army knife that fills any missing gaps on this team. He greatly affects the mental aspect of the game and would be the heart and soul of this team. And that's exactly who I want my power forward position to be. He's one of the greatest rebounders of all time. He's fearless on defense, and he's extremely versatile on offense with a 3-point range. He can guard the big man while simultaneously being able to defend against the pick and roll. And he can run up and down the court in transition seamlessly. Number 3, the small forward. Again, this is another tricky position to match up on the other side of Shaq and KG. You can go with so many players here, but I choose versatility, speed, and length once again to pair on the other side of those two. And that goes to the best plug-and-play player of all time, Kevin Durant. Durant's speed, length, offsets his lack of strength. And with Shaq and Garnett backing him up, I feel more comfortable putting him in that position over LeBron. If Durant is bullied in the paint, he has Shaq to back him up. KD's build matches perfectly with Garnett, and I'd feel comfortable with those two switching on the wing or on any pick and roll mismatches in transition. KD is much better pure shooter and scorer than nearly anyone that ever lived in his height and length allows him to shoot over stronger players in his position. Durant's ability to shoot efficiently while having unlimited range on the floor allows him to come into the clutch on broken plays at the end of the game, and honestly, you just might assign him to take the last shot of any game you play. Number 2, the shooting guard. This is an easy pick here, right? Just pick Michael Jordan and move on? Well, of course. but not so fast. Remember when I harped about the importance of compatibility and chemistry? This is most important here. The shooting guard has traditionally been the scorer, leader, and playmaker that takes the last shot of the game. This player generates immediate offense and sets the tone for the entire game. This role can galvanize or deflate their troops depending on their ability to playmake. And the shooting guard relies heavily on their big man when they get double teamed. But this team is different. We have GOATs in every position. We don't need absolute raw talent here. This is why chemistry is so important for the spot. With Shaq down low, this spot actually goes to Kobe. Jordan is 1A, but Kobe is 1B. But with better three-point shooting and chemistry with this group of guys, and that's enough for me. Kobe was able to steal the entire Michael Jordan playbook while expanding it with three-point shooting. Plus, he knows Shaq's soul more than any other player on the planet, and he'll definitely get the most out of him. Kobe just might have the best scouting report on every GOAT that ever lived, and that gives Kobe the nod from me on this particular team. Kobe grew up against Jordan's 90s era, LeBron's mid-2000s, and Curry's modern three-point game. Kobe has the edge in facing the best players of multiple generations and dynasties. Jordan never experienced teams like the Spurs, the Lakers, the Heat, or the Warriors. Kobe played against them all, and Kobe has the extra IQ and knowledge that I want with my point guard. Kobe has the most experience playing against the best players of all times, and there's no true GOAT that he hasn't faced or been mentored by personally. Number 1. The point guard. There's a lot of guys still left off this list that would do an amazing job as the point guard for my death squad. And mine isn't who you traditionally think. To complete my team, I want the biggest, strongest, fastest, most experienced leader, passer, and scorer to run the pace of my offense. And that's none other than LeBron James. Remember, this isn't a season-long run. This is for one game. And there's no one in history I'd rather have out of the gate to run the pace of the team than LeBron. LeBron's vision and ability to match up with any position, any switch, any defensive assignment just puts him ahead of Magic Johnson and Curry. And I don't need a three-point shooter with Kobe and KD in the lineup. The defense in the backcourt by LeBron and Kobe negates the need for more three-point shooting for my team. Any pick and roll results in Kevin Garnett or Kevin Durant switching in the secondary line of defense, which is why I picked length and speed in those positions. It's like having 4 wings constantly rotating on the court with Shaq waiting down low. Every player meshes perfectly, and they all have experience playing with one another. And with LeBron running the offense, Shaq, Kobe, and Garnett running the triangle, and you have the best plug-and-play player just waiting for his moments, I honestly think this is the greatest lineup of all time. Let me know in the comment section below why I'm wrong and what you would do with this roster. This is a brand new channel, so please consider subscribing or liking this video so I can continue adding value to the basketball community. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next time.